I suggest. The instability of our economy after this election has many worried. Stocks and bonds could be the first to collapse. Gold has been a safe haven asset for generations. At Premier Gold, we specialize in helping those with a 401k or other types of retirement accounts convert their vulnerable paper assets into physical gold. Today, we'd like to send you a free gold election kit to help you decide if this is right for you. Call 606-800-8000. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
Thanks for joining us. Tuesday edition, Bruce Hooley Show. It's a week since I sat here on pins and needles and wasn't sure whether we'd have a presidential election result by the next time I talk to you the following morning or not. We all know what happened since that time. We did indeed have a presidential election result, and it was the result that the overwhelming majority of listeners to this show, and certainly that I wanted. And so ever since, I have been sitting on cloud nine. I didn't want the anniversary of Election Day to pass without noting that those two perspectives, sitting on pins and needles or viewing the future from cloud nine, I much prefer the latter. I enjoy the view. And I hope you do too. And I hope you don't forget to thank God for the fact that we have not had riots and unrest in our country since that time, because I certainly would have predicted that. So don't let the anniversary of Election Day pass, if you prayed in advance of Election Day, without thanking God again for the peace that has reigned in our country since Donald Trump was returned to the White House. I wish I had better news for you in headline number 2, but we do not. We lost a juvenile in Springfield, or the Springfield area, last night in what certainly appears to be a horrific accident, because the 16-year-old boy who's been charged with reckless homicide made a mistake that a lot of people make with firearms. And I know that many of you probably armed up in advance of the election because you were afraid Kamala Harris would become president. You were afraid that maybe you wouldn't be able to exercise your Second Amendment rights with Kamala Harris in the White House. Maybe you were worried about ammunition. Maybe you bought that. I know I was at a gun store the weekend before, and let's just say they were doing a very robust business with the election on the horizon. But anybody who's going to be around a gun, you have to know how the gun works. And when you put ammunition in the gun, you have to be doubly and triply sure that the ammunition is not in the chamber. Remember when Kamala Harris talked about, I have a Glock, and if you break into my house, I'm going to shoot you. And I said, there is no way she knows how to insert ammunition into the magazine of a Glock handgun. Insert the magazine into the weapon, rack a round in the chamber, and then release the magazine from the gun, and then, and this is the last part that got this young man in trouble in Springfield last night, make sure the chamber is empty. It certainly appears from this situation that there was a round in the chamber, and he emptied the magazine from the chamber, but the round remains in the chamber, and he was horsing around with a friend and shot him in the chest, and that 16-year-old boy shot his friend and killed him. And so he is in the Clark County lockup, charged with reckless homicide, booked into the juvenile detention center. That's a horrific case all the way around. If you're a praying person, pray for both families, because I'm sure they are both completely and utterly devastated. Now, we have a lame duck session of the Ohio General Assembly that will unfold before the end of the year. Lame duck applies they can get nothing done. No, they can get stuff done, and they should get stuff done. And one of the things they should get done is to convert the language in the law allowing for release time religious instruction from schools may make it available to schools shall make it available. It's a simple fix. Get it done. House Bill 445 would therefore require public schools to observe the constitutionally upheld principle of offering to parents, and through the parents, their students, the opportunity to be released from school for instruction in the Bible, or for instruction in the Hindu faith, or instruction in the Muslim faith, or whatever. It is not an exclusively Christian principle, but it has been exercised exclusively by, as far as I know, LifeWise Academy. Oh, there are schools, Westerville among them, which just ended its LifeWise program, that allow Muslim students to pray in school and to be released from school activities during the school day during Ramadan. That happens in Westerville, and it's fine with Westerville's progressive school board because they wouldn't want to appear to be Islamophobic. That would be awkward because they have a Somali Muslim on their school board. But they recently ended their LifeWise Academy program by ending their release time religious instruction policy, which, oh, by the way, how now are kids going to be released? Under what policy, under what school policy are kids going to be released from class to pray on mats in hallways in Westerville schools during Ramadan if you have no release time religious instruction policy? I welcome any law firm that wants to press that case with the Westerville School Board, and they will have company likely tonight when Worthington does the exact same. So the Ohio General Assembly needs to take this out of the equation and convert the language in the law from may make it available to shall make it available. Now, we still have, after the election in Ohio is shaken out, we still have super majorities, veto-proof majorities. It's a better way to say it, in both the House and the Senate, but both chambers lost Republican seats to Democrats, which had issue 1 passed in the state of Ohio, and had Democrats been able to control the final ratios of legislators in the House and Senate before elections took place based upon state population and registrations of Democrats and Republicans, it would be worse the next time around. But thankfully, we still have veto-proof majorities, and veto-proof majorities are very important. We found that out when Gary Click and Jenna Powell led the way on getting the SAFE Act into debate in the Ohio General Assembly. And Governor DeWine, you remember him, kind of a diminutive guy. He's pretty much sparked mass exodus from the state of Ohio, brags about his legion of accomplishments all the time, but none of them ever bleed over into your life. And anytime there's a ballot bill, an amendment to amend the state's constitution on the ballot, he goes into the witness protection program and hides. You remember that guy, Mike DeWine? Governor DeWine vetoed the SAFE Act, and it was overridden by both the House and Senate, and that's why it's law in the state of Ohio, and you can't cut off the genitals of minors, and you can't give them puberty blockers, and boys can't play girls' sports, and boys and men can't invade women's and girls' spaces. But now we need our General Assembly to rise up again and cut off this purposeful attack on LifeWise Academy. It is not 100% not a benign, oh, we just think the kids should be in school and we think it's a bad thing that they are released from art class. And we don't think they ought to be able to go off campus during lunch and learn about the Bible. And we would feel the exact same way if it was any religious instruction program. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. We know that's a lie. It's very easy to target LifeWise because they're the only ones doing it. They're the only ones who are abiding by the rules in order to get these kinds of programs established. What does it take? It takes at least 50 signatures in your district. You have to raise $500, and you have to find volunteers to staff it, and you have to have a curriculum. And LifeWise has done that, and that's why LifeWise Academy has mushroomed from its original total of 2 schools to where it is now serving nationwide over 50,000 students. It's a great program. I don't care if other religions come up with release time religious instruction program for Islam or for the Hindu faith or for anything else. I don't care, because you know what? if parents in those districts want to sign their kids up for it and there's enough volunteers in the area who can staff it and they can raise the money, great, do it. I'm not trying to discriminate at all. I believe in the fact that we don't have a state-sponsored religion in the state of Ohio, but I don't believe in using crafty language to say, oh, well, we're against all of this, when you know full well, Westerville and Worthington and Hilliard's thinking about it, when you know full well that it's just one religion that is actually doing the work on the ground. And oh, by the way, you also know that parents in your district and kids in your district really love it. And that's why it's flourishing. So hopefully the General Assembly will get that done. I'll be deeply disappointed if they don't, because I was absolutely assured that it would happen. And if it doesn't, then there is a lack of moral fiber in the leadership of either the House or the Senate or both. And that will not make me happy, and I will not be shy about telling you all about it. Now, what else might the General Assembly be getting done before the end of the year? Hopefully they can do more than one thing at once. Wouldn't you like to see them safeguard our elections even more? While we have the majority, let's make it hard to cheat. There was not widespread cheating in Ohio during the election, and Democrats use that as a reason not to reform our elections. But if there's any cheating, wouldn't you want to eradicate it?
Sunshine, a few clouds around this afternoon. The high today 54, clear tonight and a low 34. Sun and clouds, a breezy day tomorrow, the high 57. Showers and steady rain late tomorrow night with the low at 45. Clouds and cooler, rain Thursday, the high at 51. A bit of rain on Thursday evening, otherwise cloudy, low 46. It'll be cloudy Friday, the high at 54. Partly sunny on Saturday, high 56. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Are you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your former
Got internet issues. I'll be right back.
In Central Ohio, I can promise you it's the most inexpensive roof you'll ever buy, because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721 Roof, 721 Roof, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com. As a local business owner, you get called every week.
Says no networks found. I got a live stream. You can come in. It says no networks found.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report.
It's always finds it every single day.
Marketing is really shaping our
So
enrollment.
airplane. Yeah, but I can't. So how do you get airplane mode off?
Right now, our experts are ready to help you take
Click
your
on it
marketing
again.
to the next level. Visit Salem Surround Columbus today.
No, you would put the airplane
This year, I've given you so many reasons to try Balance in Nature, but I've got one you cannot ignore. Let's
So that
review
doesn't
some of
turn it
the
off.
other reasons first. With Balance of Nature, you get a whole product made from whole fruit and veggie ingredients. Second, they can provide you with so many of the things you may be missing. Third, it could be just what you've been looking for
No
to
Wi-Fi
make you
networks
feel
found.
better. And of course, I
So,
take them. But I think you'll agree this
troubleshoot.
reason trumps them all during November. With my special promo code, you'll get their Black Friday savings all month long. Use promo code Charlie and sign up as a new customer to get 50% off, free shipping, plus a free fiber and spice supplement. This is an unbelievable discount, so use my promo code Charlie. Call them at 800-246-8751 and use discount code Charlie. Or order online at balanceinature.com.
Oh, yeah,
Use
yeah, yeah.
Charlie and sign up
Maybe that's
as
it.
a new customer to get 50% off, free shipping, plus a free fiber and spice supplement. Use discount code Charlie to get 50% off, plus a free fiber and
spread by ticks is on the rise.
All right, we're back. Internet issues. Sorry about that.
Get the facts you need to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Well, I know that it's transitioning from fall to winter, and you know what that means. It means once you get those leaves raked up, you have lots to look forward to, like shoveling snow. And if you don't get it shoveled just right, or if there's that horrific black ice out there, you might slip and you might fall. You don't need that because you're already in pain. Maybe you should get out of pain before winter comes, and you can if you explore healing via advanced regenerative therapies at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, revolutionary treatments. I heard about this like 25 years ago when Tiger Woods was having issues and he went to Europe to have his blood spun. That's essentially what's available to you now at the clinics for QC Kinetics in Dublin and Gehenna. They take your blood out, they spin it, they concentrate the platelets, they put it back in, and voila, your arthritis pain is gone. So take advantage of the free no obligation consultation. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Donald Trump stocking his cabinet, and I don't mean his kitchen cabinets. I mean his presidential cabinet. We have a Treasury Secretary, a head of the EPA, Tom Homan, and Elise Stefanik named yesterday. Homan as border czar, and Elise Stefanik as a UN ambassador. We'll get to all of that and the left's freak out and their apparent commitment to resisting Donald Trump. Now, I've said before, when someone decides not to speak to the media, they're not just deciding to speak or not to speak to the media. They're deciding not to speak with you, because that is how coaches, players, politicians, elected officials, that is how they speak to you. They speak to you through the media. So it's not really a decision to say, I'm not speaking to the media. It's a decision not to speak to anybody. When the Democrats say, we're going to resist Donald Trump, well, okay, yeah, you're resisting Donald Trump. You know who else you're resisting? All the people who voted for Donald Trump. That's who you're resisting, which is that a good idea? Because isn't that kind of how you got a second Donald Trump term? I would be a yes. So I'd rethink that if I'm you, Hakeem Jeffries, Kathy Hochul. Ooh, I feel like I need to swallow hard after I say her name. So just stick with that resistance. The head in the sand strategy worked out great for you in the election. I would stick with it. Another thing that Democrats are fighting is election integrity. Now, right here in Ohio, we have a great Secretary of State, Frank LaRose, who's done a phenomenal job making sure that we don't have the nonsense where, are they done counting ballots in Arizona yet? I've been to Arizona like about 50 times in my life. I've probably spent a year of my life, 365 days in Arizona. It's where my beautiful wife is from. We used to go every year for like 2-3 weeks at a time. Radio is one of those great jobs where you can do it on the road from somewhere else and people never have a clue where you really are. So I've spent like a year in Arizona, and I'm pretty familiar with the topography of Arizona. There's Tucson in the south. There's Flagstaff in the north. There's Phoenix smack in the middle, and basically nothing else. And it should not take a week or more to count the ballots in Arizona. We don't have that here in Ohio. We have the results the first day. California, it takes more than a week to count the ballots. It's a complete and total joke. Nevada, similarly. Of course, I guess that's a problem when you allow unpostmarked ballots to be counted that come in 3 days after the election. We don't have that nonsense in Ohio, thanks to Frank LaRose. And what few eyebrow-raising circumstances we do have in the state of Ohio will be eliminated if a bill in front of the state Senate is enacted in this lame duck session of the legislature. Andrew Brenner, your senator from just north of our studio here in Delaware, and Teresa Gavarone, maybe it's Gavarone, I don't know, from Bowling Green, have introduced legislation right on the heels of the November 5th election to eliminate ballot drop boxes and require proof of citizenship for voters. Now, What is the opposition to this? What is the opposition, not just in Ohio, but across the country, to requiring proof of citizenship to vote? What does the law say? Well, the law says you must be a citizen to vote. So when you get stopped for speeding, what is the first thing the officer says to you? May I see your license? What is he trying to establish there? He's trying to establish the fact that you are a licensed driver. And while you may have violated the law, which is why he's pulled you over, you have the privilege. You have gone through the steps, the rudimentary processes, the required elements to obtain a driver's license. And he wants to establish right up front, are you driving legally? That's what he's trying to establish. And then he asks for your registration. Why does he do that? Because he wants to make sure that the state of Ohio has gotten its chunk of whatever fee you pay to register your vehicle with the state of Ohio, so that if it's used in the act of committing a crime, they can find it and then they could probably trace it back to you or whoever was driving it at the time. Those are the first two things they ask for: license and registration. For how many people are driving around the state of Ohio every day who are required to have on them their driver's license and their registration? But if you want to vote and you want to establish who the president is, the governor is, the senators are, the House members are, the state house and the state senators are, the Democrats in our state government think, well, you should just not have to prove that you're actually here legally. It's an inane political position. And there is only one reason why anyone would take that inane position, and it is to give the possibility of having someone who is illegal vote. To why? Affect the vote and put Democrats in power, because this is a, I assume, 100% issue among Republicans. And it's probably about an 85% issue among Democrats. But of course, the esteemed members of the Ohio Senate who are Democrats and the Ohio House who are Democrats, led by the awful Allison Russo, just can't handle the fact that they can't win elections legally. That's why they tried to game the system with issue 1, and why they are opposing the eradication of ballot drop boxes and proof of citizenship. See, you say, oh, ballot drop boxes. It makes it really inconvenient for people. Bruce, they have to go to the Board of Elections to vote. Well, we should make it really easy for them to just drop off their ballots anywhere. Why? Why? The overwhelming number of people go to where on election day to vote? Approved election locations. Why would it be any different during early voting? Why would you not have to drop your ballot off at your local Board of Election and certify who you are? Or certify that, my wife, my son, my daughter, my cousin, whose ballot I am delivering is disabled and can't deliver it themselves. And so I'm going to fill out your little form here, and I'm going to explain and detail who I am so that there's any question about the veracity of their ballot, the legality of their ballot, you'll know who dropped it off. And if it's not illegal, then I'm on the hook for that. Does anybody see a problem with that? Who's not a stinky, deranged Democrat who would like to steal the result of whatever election the illegal ballot is cast for? How many people don't have one of these forms of ID? A driver's license, a state ID, a birth certificate, a passport, or a certificate of naturalization? Is that hard? No, it's not hard. So I see no problem with this. I hope it gets done in the lame duck session. But let's get more than this done. Let's get release time religious instruction converted.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason.
New York Judge Juan Merchan has put off for 1 week a ruling on President-elect Trump's criminal conviction, whether to dismiss it in light of the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity.
What is wrong with this internet? No, I'm not going to end it. I think I need to turn off my computer to get the internet to work again on my computer. But I'll just... I'll eat the data and do it on my phone for this hour because, appreciate you guys watching. It's a good audience and I don't want to leave you hanging. So Appreciate you joining me today. Let's see what Jonathan Turley has to say, if this is good for our entire audience.
Here to appeal not just any sentence, but the underlying trial. And so I don't feel that this is necessarily welcome news by the Trump team. I also know with regard to that pardon, a pardon by the Biden administration should not be welcomed by the Trump people, because these cases are gone. I mean, Smith has started to close up shop. And so there's no need for a pardon here. He hasn't been convicted of anything. And by pardoning Trump, you make it look like he was guilty to the public. I think Trump would prefer for these cases to collapse on their own weight. They are effectively as dead as Dillinger. So the question is, why pardon him? And I think that by pardoning him, you sort of poison the water even more. That is, you give him a pardon, and then you hope that the New York Manhattan case can just linger for 4 years, and you can continue to call him a convicted felon. I think what the Trump team would like is to let these cases collapse, because they're already effectively dead, and for him to be able to appeal that Manhattan case. Many of us have been saying for many months now that the judge really messed up that case, that there are serious reversible problems in the Manhattan prosecution.
Alarms, kitchen hood suppression systems, and exit lighting. Visit elitefire.org today to get a free quote and ensure your fire safety is in elite hands. Because when it comes to protection, you deserve the best. Elite Fire Services, your safety is our mission.
Attention patriots and all who love freedom. Are you ready to embark on an unforgettable adventure? Journey with me, Mike Gallagher, along with Larry Elder, Dennis Prager, our special guests, Joe Piscopo and Jennifer Horn on the Patriots Alaska Cruise, August of 2025. This experience is more than a vacation. It's a chance to participate in profound discussions and spirited debates with like-minded patriots. 7 action-packed days surrounded by the wonder and majesty and beauty of Alaska's rustic landscapes. Gain profound insights as you're immersed in the splendor of glaciers and fjords. And right now, it's a great time to buy a cruise as a holiday gift. You got to book through us to have access to all our events. So don't wait. Visit travelwithsalem.com. Travelwithsalem.com. Mark your calendars, August 16th through the 23rd, 2025. Secure your spot on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure by calling 855-565-5519, 855-565-5519, or online, travelwithsalem.com.
News, opinion, action. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
Oh, and a very happy customer yesterday. Stacy loves the carpet in her master bedroom, and Cindy is getting the new LVP in her dining room and living room today. And Lee was happy with his carpet yesterday too. So thank you to all the customers who have gone to brucehooley.com and have clicked on flooring and allowed me to come to your home and provide a consultation with you and an estimate for you to evaluate as to whether or not you want to go with me in remodeling your home and freshening the look. Love to help you with carpet, with luxury vinyl plank flooring that is virtually indestructible. Why do you think they send a wire brush with the store display? Go ahead, scratch it, try. Wow, that's not how my hardwood works. Nope, one screech across the floor with your refrigerator or your chair, and that looks ugly. But that doesn't happen with luxury vinyl plank flooring, and you can install it right over your existing hardwood. Very, very easy. Let me tell you all about it. Go to brucehooley.com, click flooring, brucehooley.com, click flooring. So you probably heard in the Salem News update at the bottom of the hour that Judge Juan Marchand in New York has paused the proceedings on Donald Trump's sentencing for a week. And this has led to great speculation that now that Trump has won a second term in the White House, that Marchand is running scared, and he doesn't want the lowest learner Barack Obama treatment. He might be afraid that maybe they weren't lying when they said Donald Trump is going to weaponize the Justice Department against his political enemies. I mean, Trump would be justified, would he not? They did it to him. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, except it's not, because then it would be fascist and racist and Nazi-esque and dictator and all those other things. But Marchand did not dismiss the charges against Trump today, which he should, because it's going to save Marchand embarrassment down the road. You will recall that this is the case where Democrats get the Trump is a convicted felon from. This is the Alvin Bragg prosecutor case. Marchand is the judge handpicked, just like Arthur Engeron, the judge on the Letitia James-led case, where Letitia James claimed that Trump inflated the value of his properties to borrow against the value of the property. So he was able, according to her case, he was able to borrow more money than he should have been entitled and get more investments from banks than he should have been entitled to get. Except that none of the banks, it was a fraud case. Trump defrauded the banks, except none of the banks said they got defrauded, and all of the banks said, oh, we would willingly do business with the Trump team and Donald Trump and Trump International if given the chance again, because he's a magic man as a developer. So that's the Letitia James case. That's not this case. This is the Juan Marchand case. Juan Marchand is the judge whose daughter was a fundraiser for Democratic politicians. You say, gee, that sounds like a conflict of interest. Congratulations on your Bruce Hooley Show Juris Doctor degree, because that is exactly right. It is a conflict of interest, and Judge Juan Marchand should never have been assigned to the case, and once he was assigned to the case, he should have recused himself from the case, but he did not. So on appeal, Trump is going to win this case, but Marchand can save himself the embarrassment, although I think he's such a partisan that he doesn't really care about the embarrassment. He hates Trump. He has TDS, a severe chronic case of it, as do most lawyers in the city of New York. And so Marchand is just kind of letting it linger out there. Now, this has led to, because of the delay, a great deal of speculation because, A, the other cases against Trump, and I remember when these four cases were all humming at the same time, it was like, boy, I remember Megyn Kelly saying, well, Trump is going to have to draw an inside straight. There's no way he's going to beat all four of these. Well, the one in Florida, the Jack Smith classified documents case, that's gone away. That was, what's her name? Eileen Cannon, the judge, said, oh, sorry, Jack Smith wasn't appointed in the right way as a special counsel. That one, bye-bye. Nice game, nice game, nice game. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. Then we got the Fonnie Willis Suspicious Minds case in Atlanta, where she's paying Nathan Wade hundreds of thousands of dollars more than she's paying anybody else, and they're gallivanting around the globe, all in cash transactions that she paid Nathan Wade back for. Winky, winky, winky. That case is in serious trouble for misconduct by Fonnie Willis, and Nathan Wade has had to recuse himself from the case. So that one's dead in the water too. So the one that is left is Washington, D.C., federal case. Tanya Chutkin, she's an Obama appointee. She hates Trump. Jack Smith hates Trump. He burns with the passion of 1,000 suns to put Donald Trump behind bars, except there's this little Justice Department proviso that you can't prosecute a sitting president, which, you know, sorry about it, Jack. Sorry about it. So that case is going to go away about a minute after Trump takes the oath of office, or Jack Smith could just, you know, do what Biden did in Afghanistan, tuck his tail between his legs and leave early. So this case in New York is the one that is left. And there's some speculation out there that because Joe Biden has said that he will not pardon his son Hunter, but he definitely does not want his son Hunter to go to jail, that Joe Biden could mitigate the fallout of pardoning Hunter by also pardoning Trump for the New York case. And then Joe Biden would go from, once again, boy, the Joe Biden roller coaster. You know, I know they have some spiffy roller coasters at Cedar Point. Imagine the Joe Biden roller coaster. He's the greatest president in history. Then he flubs a debate, and he's an old senile idiot who should get out of the race, which he does. Then he's worthy of being on Mount Rushmore. He calls Trump's supporters garbage and contributes to Kamala Harris's election defeat, for which Joe Biden gets blamed. If he pardons Hunter, his stature will go down even more. But then if he pardons Trump, the Democrats will have a reason to let Joe Biden go out with a victory lap. That Joe Biden roller coaster, whew, it's a doozy of ups and downs. But should Donald Trump accept a Joe Biden pardon? Here is Jonathan Turley, legal analyst on Fox, explaining why Trump should not want Joe Biden to pardon him.
A pardon by the Biden administration should not be welcomed by the Trump people, because these cases are gone. I mean, Smith has started to close up shop. And so there's no need for a pardon here. He hasn't been convicted of anything. Mm-hmm. And by pardoning Trump, you make it look like he was guilty to the public. I think Trump would prefer for these cases to collapse on their own weight. They are effectively as dead as Dillinger. So the question is, why pardon him? And I think that by pardoning him, you sort of poison the water even more. That is, you give him a pardon, and then you hope that the New York Manhattan case can just linger for 4 years, and you can continue to call him a convicted felon. I think what the Trump team would like is to let these cases collapse, because they're already effectively dead, and for him to be able to appeal that Manhattan case. Many of us have been saying for many months now that the judge really messed up that case, that there are serious reversible problems in the Manhattan prosecution.
Yeah, and those serious problems involve the fact that Democrats want something that they will never get, and they will never be able to move past this election until they let go of this thing that they want that they're never going to get. Here's Noah Rothman, National Review, making the point of something that Democrats should do but can't bring themselves to do.
It would be in the Democratic Party's interest writ large to wipe the slate clean, to pardon him, to get rid of these cases, and just resign their voters to the fact that this fantasy that he's going to get his comeuppance from someplace, somewhere, and we're going to be the authors of it, that it's over. To really just give them that kind of closure on this psychologically captivating notion that has animated Democratic opposition to Donald Trump for the last 8 years now, to say that that's off the table, that voters will be the authors of his either recrimination or his, storied future as an American president with a great legacy. That is for them to decide, and not you. That would be psychologically valuable.
It would be psychologically valuable. And ironically, I gave this advice to a friend just the other day, who said to me, like, I have this thing in my background where I was betrayed, and I just can't get past it. I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I struggled with that. I was betrayed at one point in my life by someone that I trusted intimately, and I was betrayed. And it took years until one day I finally realized I'm only hurting myself by dwelling on this. I'm only giving the person who hurt me the power to continue to hurt me. David Pollack on ESPN said this. He maybe didn't come up with it, but it's absolutely true. Bitterness, which is what the Democrats have toward Donald Trump, and they want him to pay, and they're going to make him pay, and the voters are going to make him pay. And he just keeps confounding them. When you expect an apology from someone you're never going to get it from, it is like drinking poison yourself and expecting them to die. It won't happen. Okay? And the sooner Democrats let go of that, the sooner anybody harboring those kinds of feelings lets go of that, the better off you'll be, and the better you'll be able to move forward.
Around this afternoon, the highs at 8:54, clear tonight and a low 34. Sun and clouds, a breezy day tomorrow, the high 57. Showers, a steady rain late tomorrow night with the low at 45. Clouds and cooler, rain Thursday, the high at 51. A bit of rain on Thursday evening, otherwise cloudy, low 46. It'll be cloudy Friday, the high at 54. Partly sunny on Saturday, high 56. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
This is Josh Pick with Aptus Wealth Management. The U.S. and the world have certainly changed a lot in the last few years. We're facing money dangers that we haven't seen in a long time. maybe ever. Inflation continues to be a problem. Interest rate increases have made purchases like cars and homes seemingly impossible for some, and retirement looks like a scary proposition. For many, it appears to be a dire situation and has left them paralyzed and fearful. You are not helpless, and there are ways to gain back control. At Aptus, we help our clients navigate the labyrinth of retirement planning and educate them on how to make appropriate choices for their individual situation. Whether you have never met with a fiduciary investment advisor before, or you just want a second opinion, we're here to help. Call our office today at 614-917-1040 and learn how a cost-free complimentary meeting may be the key to putting your money to work and your mind at ease. And don't forget to listen to the Aptus Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
ProView Remodeling, Ohio's #1 choice in sunroofs, windows, doors, decks, sidings, patios, porches, basements, and bathroom remodels. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 25% off or 60 months, 0 interest. That's right, 60 months, 0 interest. Call or text 7 days a week, 614-756-3140. You win with ProView Remodeling, 614-756-3140. Check us out at proviewremodeling.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. 844-47-BIBLE. That's 844-47-BIBLE. 844-47-BIBLE.
Quick question. Did you know that the conservative news and talk content that you're currently enjoying on this station and online is supported by advertisers? Here's another one for you. And this one is for our business audience. Are you aware that our loyal listeners eagerly engage with our advertisers because they know that these advertisers share their values and care about our programming as much as they do? Listeners, tell your favorite businesses about us. And business owners, contact us today to create and implement strategies that drive people to connect and engage with you, helping you grow and experience the value of long-term loyal customers. Join with us today to continue spreading the good word.
To learn how to reach our audience with your business's message and support this station, contact Carol and Cassidy at 614-318-0401 or click on the Advertise With Us banner at 989theanswer.com. That's 989theanswer.com.
Well, here's some good news for you. I always tell you about 989theanswer.com and how you can go and you can access podcasts, maybe win tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra at Nationwide Arena on December the 26th. Well, looky what I have for you today. You could win up to $18,000 in mortgage or rent payments for 2025. How would you like to have your mortgage or rent payments paid for you in the coming year? And they will be if you're our grand prize winner in the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes at 989theanswer.com. Yeah, I'd like to win that, Bruce. Is there any way I can get a little edge on everybody else? Well, sure. You can enter once each day through December the 22nd, and you can complete optional activities to earn bonus entries to win. Now, this is our 7th year of doing this annual Christmas promotion. It is always one of our most popular, so don't miss out. The Christmas Mortgage Miracle Sweepstakes. Enter to win today at 989theanswer.com. House of Representatives looking good for Republicans to control it. Senate will vote, I believe it's today, on their new majority leader, John Thune, John Cornyn, Texas, and Rick Scott, Florida, are the candidates. I'd love to see Rick Scott get it. My guess is Thune will get it because he has put in the time as Mitch McConnell's understudy. But back to Democrats and what would be healthiest for them. As I said, I had a friend this week who reached out to me, said, I'm really struggling with like old memories. And I'm like, you've moved on, you've moved past those things. Why are you even thinking about them? I don't know, but I just can't get rid of them. And I'm like, what you're doing is you're like drinking poison and expecting the person who did this to you to die. And that's not going to happen. Sometimes you can be owed an apology and you're never going to get it. Trump knows he's never going to get an apology for Democrats, but he's moved on and he's won. He's gotten the presidency back. He's pulled the inside straight on all his legal cases. And so he's moving on with life and he's forging ahead. Democrats are just wrapped up in all the things that they've said about him over the years and all the ways he has, as I said yesterday, proven to be the offense that they have no idea how to defend. And the analogy I use is that sometimes in football or in basketball, there's an innovation in strategy. And the other teams in the league take a while to catch up to it and figure it out. Oh, eventually they figure out how to defend the spread offense or how to defend the wildcat offense, or in the way back days, the option or the veer. But it takes them a while, right? Well, Trump is the offense that Democrats have never figured out. You say, well, it beat him in 2020. Okay, how'd that work out for him in 2024? And it didn't work out well for him in 2024. Not just because he won, but because now he goes back to the White House with Republican control of Congress. Had he been reelected in 2020, he would have had to face a Democratic Congress and House, and he would have gotten nothing done. He would have gotten nobody confirmed. It would have been chaos. And I know they think Trump brings chaos, but I think in terms of who's right in their predictions about Donald Trump, I think those of us who have voted for Donald Trump 2 or 3 times, I think we've proven more right than some of these Democratic luminaries that you are about to hear from. See how many voices you recognize.
He's not going to be president. Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Take it to the bank. Okay. I guarantee it. All right.
So when you stand and deliver that State of the Union address, in no part of your mind or brain can you imagine Donald Trump standing up one day and delivering a State of the Union address?
Well, I can imagine it in a Saturday night skit. I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
He will never be president of the United States.
And we better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket next.
I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Okay, here we are. And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump.
And so right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy. All, let's say, cow poo-poo aside, there is zero chance we'll be seeing you being sworn in on the Capitol steps with your hand on a giant golden Bible.
Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
Donald Trump is a here today, gone tomorrow candidate for president of the United States. Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. Ever respectful of the fact that the people have not voted, he's not going to be president of the United States.
That's a bookshelf with Nancy Pelosi providing the bookends on the front and back. And other books on the shelf authored by Barack Obama, Elizabeth Warren, Keith Ellison, the guy who put Derek Chauvin in jail, George Stephanopoulos laughing uproariously on the set of his ABC Sunday show, Bill Maher, Ann Coulter was the only one who got it right, said, all the ones declared now. And that was in 2016, Donald Trump. And there was widespread laughter. And then the laughter stopped. Of course it did, because Stephen Colbert came on, and everybody knows he's not funny. And then Harry Reid, the guy who we can thank for being able to confirm Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, and Brett Kavanaugh with only 51 votes in the Senate, not 60 like it used to be. And finally, Pelosi again. So there you go. Donald Trump is never going to be president. except for those 2 times. Yes. Now, instead of learning their lesson, Democrats continue to double down. Here is a CNN analyst who's supposed to be an expert on Latino matters and Hispanic matters. And after Harris lost and after Latinos voted in overwhelming numbers, including some districts that were 90+% Latinos, which voted for Trump outright, she thinks she has this all figured out as to why the Latinos voted the way they did.
There were absolutely growth. There was growth in the percentages of support among the Latino community for Donald Trump. And we have to contend with that. And I have said this, we have to do a deep dive. We have to do better messaging, messengers, platforms. The massive misinformation and disinformation that went into our community was incredibly effective. I do give the Trump campaign kudos for that. Their lies worked for our
misinformation, disinformation, their lies worked. Or conversely, maybe they just liked life under Trump better than they like life under Biden, and they think Trump returning to office provides them a better chance at a better life. And they don't vote as a collective. They vote what's best for them individually. Now, crazy Bernie Sanders believes that there is a way that Democrats can thread the needle and stay partially crazy on social issues and recapture some of the working class vote that they have inarguably lost.
The Democratic Party must continue to stand up against all forms of bigotry. And Democrats should hold their head high in saying, we led the fight
on transphobia,
for women's rights and to protect the women's constitutional right for abortion.
Yeah.
We led the fight for civil rights, for gay rights. That is something we should be proud of. But it's not either or, Chris, and this is the problem. You can do both. You could say that I'm for raising the minimum wage to a living wage, guarantee health care for all people, expanding Social Security. And by the way, I also support a woman's right to control her own body, etc. It's not either or, it's going forward in both directions.
Yeah, but you run into problems when you say, boys and girls sports. Yeah, that's okay. Boys and girls sports is fine. See, as I said yesterday, you've got to change from we never hold a victory party. We're always pushing. We won that. Let's win the next one. Let's not pause. Let's not celebrate. You got to stop, dude. You got to stop, because the American people have said this far and no farther. You won on gay marriage. You won on abortion. Why do they look at it as a loss that abortion has been returned to the states? Because some states outlaw abortion. Some states. It's never going to be federally prohibited. Never. And they should just take the win and realize we got our way for 50 years. We can still have our way. Any woman can get an abortion. She can go to an abortion-friendly state. We got to drop this. No, they can't do it.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround.
All right. Thanks for sticking with us through our internet issues. Appreciate it very much. Hope you'll join tomorrow. And another nice audience, and I'm very grateful for you guys. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Take care.